Hello there guys, and welcome to Andy's Tech Guide. You probably haven't seen any of my videos before, but that's because this is my very first video. Um, yeah, so make sure to tell me if there's something I'm doing good, if there's something I'm doing bad, so just write that in the comments. Yeah. Yes, today I'm going to talk about how to set up an FTP server under Ubuntu Linux. It's not very complicated. Most people would be able to do it. Yeah, so what is a FTP server? FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It's a TCP protocol that allows you to upload and download files from a server or a workstation or anything like that. As you can see, I'm running Ubuntu Linux, a 32-bit edition. This is the 11.10 edition, I think. Yeah, so I guess we can just dive in. We're gonna start out by installing the software we're gonna be using, and well, my favorite FTP server is VS FTPD. It's an FTP daemon, works great, it's very light. Yeah, so then we're just gonna start that. Remember to use it, run it as root with the sudo parameter. Okay, now we have that installed. We're just gonna go into the configuration file. The configuration file is lying in -etc -vsftpd.configuration.conf. Yeah, so we're just gonna use vim for that. -etc -vsftpd.config. Yes. Okay, there's a few things you want to change. Make sure to make that this line is uncommented. If you want to use IPv6, it's probably a bit more complicated, but well, feel free. If you I forgot to mention this. There are like two main configurations of an FTP server. There's the anonymous configuration, and then there's the authenticated configuration. The anonymous configuration version that way that you try to log in with a username, and then it will send you via email a password you can use, and then you can log in and upload and download files. The authenticated version works in that way that you have a password and a username, a personal password and a username, and you just type that in and you can upload and download files all you want. Today I'm gonna mainly focus on the authenticated configuration, so we're just gonna leave this to no. Local enable, you want to have this enabled if you want to use the users which are on the Linux box. I'm gonna do that. Yes. Makes sense what this does. It just makes people able to upload files and write to files. Okay. If you don't want people to have access to the whole file system, you can go down to 1 minute. Oh yeah, you're gonna wanna have to port forward port 21 and port 20. Port 20 is for FTP data, and port 21 is for authentication. Okay, if you will use something like the secured FTP connection, which is SFTPD or SFTP, you're gonna want to use port, I think it's 2130. I can't remember, but you can look that up on the internet. Yeah, so what you're gonna want to find now is this line. What I was talking about before was that if you don't uncomment this line, people are gonna have access to the whole file system, and you can see that would be quite a big security threat, because people could just delete your configuration files. So if you uncomment that, the users will only have access to their own home directories. Yeah. So if you have all that configured, you can go through this configuration file and read all the parameters. You can also find more on the VSFTP server website. Okay, so when you're done doing that, you just write :w to save the file, and :q to go back to your command prompt. Okay, what we're gonna do now is restart the service, and we're gonna use Ubuntu isn't too happy with using init for restarting and reloading scripts or programs. So we're just gonna use service vs ftpd restart, and you're also gonna wanna use reload. Okay, now as you can see, I'm in my home directory. I'm just gonna make a file, call it hello.txt, and then I'm just gonna write hello, and you're gonna see why I did this in just a second. Yeah, as I talked about before, you're gonna wanna port forward port 20 and port 21. Today I'm just gonna use uncomplicated firewall because it's great. It works fine, but I think in the future I'll always also do a video on IP tables if people are interested. Okay, so you're just gonna run sudo ufv allow 20, and you can use 2 ampersands to run multiple commands at a time, and also allow 21. Perfect. You can see sudo ufv status. Oh, probably a pretty good idea to enable it. Yeah, super. And just go ahead and status. And you can see you have the ports. They also port forward to IPv6. I'm not using IPv6 right now, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, so what you can do right now is fire up a file browser and then go to the IP address. You're gonna write FTP : and then the IP address, your domain name if you have a domain name. Just log in. I'm gonna use my credentials here, and as you can see, here is the hello.txt, and it says hello. So great, thank you for checking out this video. I'm definitely gonna do more in the future, so if you have any ideas or suggestions to what you might want to learn or want to look at, just write in the comments or send me a PM. I'll could also do a lot of videos on some hardware, some high-end server stuff, whatever you're into. So until next time, yeah, see you guys.